Hey guys, Bri Jordon here. Today I'm going to do a little get ready with me and I'm going to talk about 5 ways to feed your soul. So let's go ahead and start with the foundation. Today I'm actually going to be doing like a soft makeup look. Nothing too harsh, nothing too crazy, just everything soft and well blended. So we're going to start off with some foundation. This is the Pat McGrath Labs foundation. I absolutely love this foundation because it's so sheer and buildable. It's like a sheer medium coverage, so you can build it really nicely and it's gonna look like skin. Okay, so the first tip on this list is going to be discipline and consistency over motivation. Now, this is something that I tend to struggle with, but I'm pushing through it as I continue on my journey in life. Having motivation is nice, trust me. I love when I feel that burst of motivation come to me. But if you wait on motivation to start anything in life, you'll never cultivate the skill of discipline and consistency. To walk in greatness or master any skill in life, you can't wait on motivation to come by. You have to rely on consistency. Consistency is going to be that muscle that helps you build discipline. And I noticed that in everything. It's like with everything that you do. For example, with working out, I've become a person who is very dedicated to working out and eating healthy. And that was a skill of consistency and discipline. At first, I was motivated to do it because I had the right tools to help me do it, but motivation wasn't always there. There are some days where just mentally I'm not feeling great or I just don't want to go to the gym. But on those days, that's where I push the most and force myself to go. And by the time I get to the gym and finish my workout, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself, and I feel so much better inside and out that I feel like I can conquer the rest of the day. So this is where consistency is key. Even with my YouTube channel, there are some days that I do not want to be on camera, I don't want to record, I don't even know what I'm going to say or what I'm going to talk about, but I have to push through that. If I want to continue to be great and master my craft and continue what I started, consistency is what's going to get me there, not motivation. Motivation is great in the beginning of what you're doing, but to have longevity and create greatness, consistency is key. So I'm almost finished applying my foundation, and one tip I want to give you guys is just make sure you get all the way up here by your ears so you look pretty even in tone, and get down by your neck so it's just one cohesive look. Okay, so I'm finished applying the foundation and it looks so nice. That is really one thing I love about Pat McGrath foundation. It still looks like skin. You can see your skin through the foundation and it just blends so nicely. Okay, so let's move on to concealer. So the concealer that I'm going to use today is the Charlotte Tilbury concealer. This is in Deep 15 and this is a nice neutral color. The consistency isn't that thick, it's more like a medium coverage, but it's still nice and it neutralizes the eye area, so those dark circles are just gonna disappear. Okay, so this next tip I think is a really good one, and it's be careful what you let into your ear gate. I think this is more important now than ever because it just feels like we live in a world that's upside down. There are so many negative messages and propaganda out there. It's all in the music, it's in TV, social media. It's just insane how much they're trying to program us into thinking wrong is right and right is wrong, and having our minds just twisted in this everlasting knot of confusion. It's literally like we're living in a circus, guys. For me, it took some time to understand this because when I was a bit younger, I would just listen to anything, I would watch anything, and I really wouldn't think twice about it. But now that I'm older and gained a little bit more wisdom, I'm very aware of what I listen to. I don't even listen to certain types of music anymore, certain artists. I don't watch certain shows or movies. Even last night, you guys, I was gonna watch this movie on Netflix. It's actually a popular movie now. And I just watched 5 minutes of it. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? This isn't anything positive. It's not uplifting. It's actually creating a negative stereotype. So what am I doing? I just clicked out of the movie immediately and I'm like, well, I'm growing. But yeah, guys, it all comes down to that subconscious mind. What are you letting in there? What you let into your subconscious mind really dictates how you think, how you see yourself, how you see others, and how you see the world. As humans, we do tend to think more negatively about things. And I feel like with all of the negative messages that are currently being programmed out to us, it's making it even worse. So guys, seriously, be careful what you listen to when it comes to music, when it comes to TV, even social media. Oh my goodness, there's just so many negative messages out there that is really twisting the minds of our younger generation, even our older generation, guys. We have to be more conscious about what we listen to, and we really have to be rooted in our moral beliefs and our values at heart, and not let these negative messages that are just destroying the lives of everyone dictate what we think and who we are as people. Especially when it comes to music. Guys, I love music. I don't know anybody that doesn't love music. If you don't, you're very strange. But honestly, music is just something that keeps life vibrant. And with music nowadays, it's just like there's so many negative messages in music. People are just listening to the beats and thinking the beats are just what drives the music and makes it fun. Yes, but the message is what's more important. And when you listen to some of these artists' lyrics, it's just like, oh my gosh, what are you telling me and why? So just be very mindful, be very careful of what you listen to. I honestly think that you have to be somebody who is truly rooted in your morals and values in this day and age, not to let these things twist up your mind and turn you into a whole different person than what you really are at heart. It took me a while to really understand this, but when I did, I completely changed up what I listened to. I deleted so many songs off of my phone. I stopped listening to certain genres. Even with TV, some shows I used to watch, I didn't even finish some seasons, guys. In the middle of some shows, I'm like, you know what? I can't watch this anymore because it just doesn't align with me. And then what is it programming to me? It's a very crazy world that we're living in now. So you need to be more mindful than ever about your morals and values. So that's just my message on that. Keep your ear gates guarded and really listen to what you're listening to. Be mindful of what you're watching and what you're consuming. All right, so we got the foundation and the concealer done. Now let's go into a little bit of soft contouring and bronzing. So I love contouring and bronzing. I think it's fun. I don't go too crazy with it. I'm not trying to change up my features and look totally different from what I originally look like. That's not the goal. I'm not trying to look like a crazy woman out here. So for the contour, I'm going to be using this Fenty stick. This is in the color Espresso, and I've had this for a long time. If you guys want a good contour stick, I think this is great because I've had it for probably about 4 years now, or a little bit longer. And look how much I have left. This is gonna last me a really long time because I honestly don't use that much, and I don't think that you need that much when it comes to contouring. So what I do is I smudge it on my hand. I think this is a better way to do it. Usually before, I used to just go in and just like carve out where I wanted to, but then I realized it's creating too much of a harsh contour. Even though I'm not trying to do that, it still does it because you're going right in with the product and it's like heavily pigmented. So when you put it on your hand instead, and then you get your brush to pick up the pigment off your hand, you're actually using less and it comes out more soft and looks more natural. So that is the best way to contour for me. So you're gonna follow your bone structure when it comes to contouring. But I go just a little bit above the bone structure so it's not like dragging out. Let me just go ahead and do it and show you guys. So I go up just slightly above the cheekbone and bring it out. So you see how that comes out very soft rather than that harsh line that's just in your face. And then I bring it up here too. Since I have a ponytail today, I'm gonna go for a more lifted look on my face. So just following. All you have to really do is just follow your bone structure. And when you do this, just make sure you're not holding the brush down here, because then it creates a harsh line. You want to hold the brush more softly and just paint along. Paint along real soft and nice. I love just bringing out the definition of my facial structure with contouring. It's actually quite fun for me. I know there are people who don't like contouring at all, but I just think it depends on the way that you do it and how harshly you do it. If you're doing it too harsh, then it's just not that flattering. But if you give yourself a nice little soft contour, it's just like, ooh. All right, so the next point is going to be log off and go outside. Something so simple, who knew? Yeah, guys, logging off and go outside. Life starts outside of social media, outside of your phone, outside of the computer. That's where life begins and that's where life stays. Social media is not real. We all only show probably 1% of our lives on social media. And we all get so caught up in this image of perfection and thinking, oh my gosh, my life is not like that person, so I'm worthless, I don't have any value, when that's not true. And you don't know what that person is doing to have the lifestyle that they're portraying. Some of these people are scamming, some of these people are robbing, some of these women are selling body. Listen, it's crazy out here. There's no need or reason to be jealous of anybody that you see on social media, because you don't know their backstory, you don't know their background, and you don't know if they're even happy with what they have. You really don't. And even I sometimes, very rarely nowadays, I'll get caught up in that. Probably at some other point in my life when I was probably on social media or Instagram a little bit more, I'll probably think, oh my gosh, my life is boring, I don't do this and that like the other person. But now I'm just like, I could care less, honestly. I really don't even try to go on Instagram like that. If I go on there, it's just going on there to post something and then I come right off. Instagram is like an extreme sport now. It's just like, what are we doing? Everybody wants to get the perfect shot, but then at the end of the day, what does that even matter? Even when you look around now, most people are just lost on their phones and not even realizing what's around them, what's going on around them, or even embracing the people that are around them. And it's just like, what kind of lives are we living? We're just lost in our phones nowadays. To me, it's so sad when I see those things, and I try, for even myself, because I notice I do it too sometimes, but I try to be very aware of it. If I'm with people, I try not to be on my phone too much, because I feel like, you know, you have to enjoy the moment that you have with them, because that's real life. Whatever's on your phone is going to be there later to look at. I just think it's one of those things that you have to be more mindful of, just to stop scrolling all the time. Be more interactive with the people that are around you, and try to enjoy nature. Go outside, go on a walk, experience the fresh air, the grass, the flowers, the birds. There's so much beauty around us, and there's so much life around us that we forget. And how can we forget? There's like, we've been gifted with so much, but we just lose it all within our phones. On the news, they always talk about how depression and anxiety is on the rise. With a lot of people, and I've experienced that myself, but I think it's because we tend to be on our phones much more. We're losing the human interaction that we're meant to have. Even when you go inside the grocery stores, I'm one of those people who tend to go to the self-checkout, but I've changed that a bit now because I feel like I want more human interaction. But even when you go to the cashier, they don't even want to look at you or talk to you. So it's just like, oh my goodness, what is going on in the world? No wonder why we're so depressed and anxious and having all of these negative emotions. We're not having that sense of community that we used to have. So guys, let's make ourselves more aware of that and try to build more of a community outside of our phones. We get into all these parasocial relationships that are not even real, that we're not really truly experiencing the true meaning of life and what it is to be in communion with others. So we gotta do better, guys. Real life goes far beyond technology, and I think the more we realize that, the better off that we will be. We can use technology as a tool because yes, it's wonderful. It has given us so many advantages in our lives, but we can't let it consume us. That's just not gonna work in how we're set up as humans. Ooh, I'm giving bars. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm realizing I'm going a little bit overboard with the contour. So I'm just gonna chill out a little bit and then move on to the bronzer. It doesn't look crazy, but I'm just like, wait, I said soft. I'm going a little bit hard. All right, and before I bronze, I think I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face out and then bronze. Yep. Currently, I am using this powder by Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade Nutmeg. And if you notice that the contour on your nose is kind of bleeding over or it's a little bit too harsh, I recommend patting it out with your finger, and then probably with a smaller brush, you can go in and like pat out the harsh line with the powder. So it makes it look more soft and natural rather than like a forced contour. So I've been on the hunt for a really good setting powder. So if you guys know of any brands that have great setting powder for oily skin that's not too matte, let me know in the comment section because your girl really needs some. I like this Fenty powder, but I don't think that it's doing what I need it to do for my oily skin. I noticed that I have to go back in with it throughout the day to mattify my face, but yeah, I just need something better. I think this powder is great if you have more of like a normal skin to where it's not as oily, or if your skin is dry, because this powder is not very drying. It just sets the makeup pretty much. Now moving on to the bronzer. Here we have the fabulous Charlotte Tilbury bronzing powder in deep 4. Moving on to the next tip, and that is going to be incorporating more color in your life. Now you're thinking probably, Bri, why are you telling me to incorporate more color in my life? How is that going to feed my soul? Well, let me tell you, color plays a major role within our lives. It impacts our decision making. It impacts our mood. It helps us to express feeling. There's so much that color does for us that we tend not to even recognize. And I noticed that there are people who don't wear color, don't incorporate color into their lives at all. Even the colors you choose to adorn yourself with represents certain aspects of you. I noticed that there are some people who tend to wear black every day. That's all they wear. But psychologically is representing something that's going on internally. And black can be a chic color, I get it. I used to be one of those people who wear black all the time. But then when I think about it, I'm like, wait, in those times where I used to wear black all of the time, I was actually going through a lot of depression, anxiety, I was sad. I remember even somebody asked me, are you going to a funeral? I'm like, no. Like, you always wear black. And to this day, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is very true. The colors that you wear tend to really represent what is going on internally. And it's a subconscious thing, and a lot of us don't even realize that. So this is why I'm adding in this tip of adding color into your life, because a lot of us don't even realize the impact that color is going to make throughout our day and even the mood that we're going to be in. So as I go in with my bronzer, like I said, I'm doing it softly too. What I do is I just lightly tap the bronzer and then tap off the excess and just go back in over those places that I contoured so it looks more warm, and I just go on top of the contour rather than like directly on it, because I'm trying to, the thing is, it's interesting how makeup works. If you go too low, it's going to make your features more wide. If you go higher, it's going to lift your features and like push them out. I hope that made sense. But as I develop my makeup skills and learn, yeah, it's just the placement is important on how you do makeup. And if you want it looking very nice, you're just gonna have to take your time and blend. And if you're somebody who doesn't really know how to do makeup, practice makes perfect. Because I was one of those people too who at first, like when I was younger, probably around 16, 17, I used to play around with makeup a lot, like mostly lipstick. I would do mascara and probably like just put on foundation, that would be it. And then after a while, I started playing around with it more. Now I'm so much better at it, and I just think that you have to learn your face and what works for your face. I think it's so annoying when you get those comments like, oh, you're so beautiful, you don't need to wear any makeup. Shut up. I love makeup. I'm going to wear it. I don't need your input on if I need to wear makeup or not because I'm trying to hide something. I'm not. I love makeup, and I think it's a fun, creative art form that you get to express yourself, and you don't ever have to wear the same look twice. So, hush. So we're done bronzing, baby. I look so sun-kissed. Oh my goodness. Okay, I can just bronze for days. I like it. It's fun. Okay. All right, let me just smooth these lines out. And one thing I love about bronzing is I love putting it around my eye area, so it creates this depth and this warmth and this intensity. It's just like my eyes are just All right, so now we're gonna go into blush, my favorite part. If I were to become president tomorrow, my first mandate would be that all Black women wear blush. You guys probably think I'm crazy, but I just love the way blush looks on deeper skin tone. And it's just like, before, a few years ago, it's just like, oh, you're a Black girl, you don't really need to wear blush. But do you see what we look like when we wear blush? Come on now, we look amazing. We look all berry-like. I just love it. It's so fun. So let's get into blush. So today I'm going to be highlighting the new Pat McGrath cream blushes. These were not sent to me. These are just some new products that she released probably about a month ago that I had to get. So I got two colors. I got them in Forbidden Fleur and Flirtique. I love the names, especially this one, Flirtique. So Flirtique is like, this is like a mauve tone. The camera won't focus, but yeah, it's like a mauve tone, a rosy mauve. And then Forbidden Fleur. Now this is a berry tone. This is like a blackberry. It's so pretty. It's so rich and intense. I think I might use both. Ooh, guys, let's use both. We're gonna use both of these today. So the next tip is take breaks when you need them. In today's society, it's just like hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. And no, we don't need to be like that. We're not machines. We're not made to be like that. I think that it's good to be disciplined and try to have a structured day and get things done when you need to get them done on a timely manner. But we need breaks in between. Our minds need time to just relax. Sometimes we just need that break to rejuvenate us and replenish us to go on and take on the next task. We don't have to be on a hamster wheel constantly running, chasing nothing. So don't fall into society's idea of hustle culture and just grind, grind, grind. So take the time to relax, read a book, take a bath, do something that's really going to revive you and make you feel alive. Okay, so with the cream blush, I like to go ahead and use my fingers to add it on. I feel like it sits the best on my skin when I do that. I've tried to use a brush. I don't like the way it looks when I use a brush. I feel like it's just taking it off. And then I try to go in with the stick, but yeah, I prefer to just use my fingers with this. Now with this new cream blush that Pat McGrath came out with, it comes off quite dewy on the skin. If you have oily skin, I would say be mindful of that. You might want to go for a more powdered blush. For me, I have oily skin, as I told you guys prior, but I've been doing a lot of treatments to my skin, so my skin is less oily, so this does sit more dewy on my skin. The formula is actually quite nice. It comes off quite hydrating to the skin, and the glow is just phenomenal. So I just pat it on to my cheekbone, and then I go up to the temple, then I come a little bit into my eye area to make it more of like a natural looking blush, and then I give it like a little smile and add it onto the apples of my cheeks. So that's what it's looking like right now. It's quite a natural finish. It's really pretty. So yeah, I do recommend these blush sticks from Pat McGrath. I think they're fun, they're fabulous, and quite easy to use, and the pigment is heavy. It does sit on your skin for a long time. If you're more berry toned, I definitely recommend going for Flirtique. That one is super pigmented and is not going anywhere. So we talked about taking breaks, and I just want to add a little bit onto that and add in breathe. Something as simple as breathing, who knew? Breathing is such an essential part of life, as we all know, but a lot of us don't pay attention to our breath and how we're taking our breaths and where we're taking our breaths from. And we tend to breathe very shallow, and this is why we're so anxious, stressed, and have a lot of tension going on. When you take deeper breaths, you're actually more mindful and more focused, and more blood is flowing throughout your body. I'm somebody who loves to do yoga, like yoga is my thing. And with yoga, when you're doing the practice, the teachers that I've experienced, they tell you to focus on your breath even before you get into any poses or go into the practice of yoga. You start off with breathing, concentrating on your breath, letting that breath guide you throughout your practice. It helps you to focus throughout your practice and move with more grace. I tend to flow better when I'm paying attention to my breath whenever I'm doing yoga or even just working out in general. When you take the moment to breathe, if you're in a tense situation and emotions are flying and maybe you're feeling stressed and anxious, I highly recommend take a second to focus on your breathing. Breathe first. Don't let anything come over you except the focus of your breath, because that's life-changing, honestly. Something as simple as that is honestly very life-changing, because it helps you to focus and take the time to actually move more inward than just come outward. I would say if you're somebody who is looking to be in a more meditative state, or you're trying to focus or trying to pray through tough times, take a few seconds to just sit there and breathe. Focus on your breath. Create the intention so you can be more calm in mind and spirit and focus on what you're doing and creating intentionality. So that was just the first layer of blush, and you guys already can see like how that just really brightened up and freshened my skin and actually makes me look a bit more radiant. This blush is so pretty, and it just sits on your skin so gracefully. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in a Flirtique. This is the more berry looking tone my fellow chocolate girls need, because it sits so pretty against our skin tone. Oh my goodness, look at that. That pigment is so rich, like fine wine, baby. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, just that nice flush on your skin. I put a little bit on my eyelids too, so it just looks like a really nice cohesive blended look. Now with this darker one, just be careful because it's very pigmented. Pat McGrath's products, they're all very pigmented, but when it comes to the blush, go very light. You're better off starting light and then adding on rather than going heavy. I literally feel like I've been filming this video all day. My camera died like 3 times. But we are on the last point and the last step of this get ready with me. So let me go ahead and just tell you guys what I'm going to do first with the makeup, and then I'll get into the point. I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara. This is the Real Magnetic by Benefit Brows. This mascara is bomb. It is so good. It really gives you that fanned out look and pulls your lashes outward and up. It's so pretty. So the last point I want to make is celebrate the small wins. I feel like that is so important, and so many people don't. They wait for the big grand wins that they get to celebrate, but I feel like that's missing the point of your overall journey. I think each milestone counts as something to get you to that end goal. So celebrate those small wins. The reason I think it's important to celebrate small wins is because as you bring into fulfillment many subtasks, you create a history of finishing in your psyche, which gives you the ability and agility to conquer more. So it's a great thing to celebrate those small wins, no matter what they are. It's always going to motivate you to do more and more and more, and make you realize that, hey, if I can do this, I can do anything, and give you that winner's mindset of I can do all things. One thing I like to remind myself when it comes to anything that I'm doing and I find myself struggling to continue on, I always say to myself, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that is literally my screensaver on my phone. And I'm telling you, that verse just keeps me going through any hardship that I'm in. And it literally just pushes me through to do more and not be afraid in the midst of adversity. I'm loving the results of this mascara. Look at that. It almost looks like falsies, like I have false lashes on, but these are my real eyelashes. Okay, I'm looking cute. These eyelashes are eyelashing. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Oh, nope, that's not it. I need some lip gloss. Okay, guys, so I'm first gonna go in with a brown liner. This is in the color Espresso. And line those lips, baby. So when I line my lips, I go on the very top. I don't just start like on the inner part of my lips. On top is actually where your lip line starts. So that's gonna create a nice plump looking lip. Okay, so that is the outline, and then I go in and I tap it down. So it creates a soft blended look rather than like a harsh looking outer lip and then inner lip. You want everything to just blend together smoothly. And then I'm gonna go in with this gloss by Kylie Cosmetics. This is in the color Like. I really like this nude because it's like a brown pink nude and it sits so well against my skin tone. So I just go in the center and then I blend it out a little more. So it's just seamless. Ooh, look at that. Looking real cute. I'm gonna go back in with a little powder because I'm looking a little oily. Let's get the T's on. Alrighty, now look at that. See, this is a nice soft makeup look. That's not too harsh. It barely looks like I have on makeup. So I just want to add on one more thing. I want to show you guys this amazing lip gloss that I got from Pat McGrath. And this is Bronze Seductress. Listen to the name. And this is the gloss color. The camera won't focus. Okay, there we go. Isn't it gorgeous? You guys got to see this on the lips. It's insane. Watch the magic. Look at that. Ugh, that's insane. Pat McGrath doesn't play when it comes to pigment. I'm telling y'all. Ooh, this is so pretty. I mean, first, when you put this on, when I first got this and I put it on, I was like, whoa. I'd never seen gloss this pigmented. It actually scared me a little bit, but then I started to play with it. I'm like, whoa. I mean, this gloss is everything. This gloss is popping. Oh my goodness. And I think the best way to wear this gloss is first lining your lips and then putting the gloss on. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I don't even know if it's giving the fullness of what I'm seeing in person. Hopefully you guys are getting a little bit of that. But guys, let me tell you, this gloss is popping. Okay? All right, guys, that is my makeup look for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 tips that I gave you for feeding your soul. I hope you guys enjoyed the makeup look. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you then. Peace out.